Let's do it.
Okay, got it.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Welcome, welcome in. Hi. Hi, Tere. Hello, everyone. Okay, guys, so we're gonna start our cooking class today. First of all, welcome to my humble home. My name is Abril Chavarria, and today I'm gonna be guiding you through one of my favorite recipes in the whole wide world. And this is tacos de pescado, Ensenada style. So for those of you who know, I'm from Ensenada. And this recipe is straight from my hometown, and I'm super excited to share it with you. We are also cooking a Puerto Nuevo burrito, and this is with a shrimp, but you can also make it with lobster if you feel like it. For those of you who know, Puerto Nuevo is near my hometown in Baja, and since we're in Lent right now, Northgate designed this whole tribute to Baja cuisine, and I'm part of it today, sharing these awesome recipes with you all. So a few more pointers before we start our class. If you have any questions at all, you can type it in the bubble, the chat bubble, and Tere here will forward them to me so I can guide you through this recipe. Also, we do apologize if by some how we get lost in the communication. You know, we do offer these sessions online, and sometimes we cannot rely on technology. Also, if we get bombarded by one of my kids or my dogs, I apologize in advance. Well, with no further ado, let's start with our awesome, both of us, our awesome recipes today. I'm gonna enlist the recipe ingredients here, and also Ted is gonna type it too, so you have it in case you didn't download it from the newsletter. So for tacos de pescado, we are going to need some fish of your choice. For this, I chose lenguado or white fish. I'm gonna be cooking just 1 pound, but the recipe calls for 2. I'm gonna cook less of the recipe, but you can always find the full ingredients listed in the recipe ingredients of this class, right, when you signed up. We need flour. This is 1 tablespoon of flour, all-purpose flour. We also need 1 beer in the recipe. The recipe calls for 2 beers and 3 cups of water. I'm using 1 beer and 1 cup of water. We need a little bit of oregano. We also need salt, pepper, and garlic salt. That's to taste. And if you really like your shrimp batter to be super extra fluffy, you can add a pinch of baking powder. We are going to be using also a little bit of Dijon or mustard for our batter, just to give it a little bit of color and a tiny slightest flavor. Then we are going to make cream to go with our tacos. And for that, we need mayo and Mexican table cream. We need lime. And finally, we need tortillas, obviously, corn ones. And I'm gonna be cooking, topping my tacos today with some sliced or shredded cabbage, lime juice, and my personal favorite, the Northgate Gonzalez Market guacasalsa or salsa de aguacate, avocado salsa. So that's it for the tacos, the fish tacos. Now let's go through the ingredients of my burrito here. So for my burrito, I'm gonna need, also the recipe calls for 2 pounds of either lobster meat or shrimp if you cannot find lobster. I know that right now lobster is kind of a high price product, but you can easily replace it with shrimp and it's gonna be equally delicious. We need 1 bar of butter. We also need half a cup of onion. We need between 2, 3, or 4 garlic cloves minced. We also need these gorgeous, huge tortillas. They're super burrito tortillas. You can also find them at Northgate. And this is what we're gonna use to wrap up our burrito. You can, for the toppings or condiments of our burrito, I'm gonna add some red rice. You can find this at Northgate. Also the beans, I just heat them up because they were cold. The beans, refried beans, Mexican style. I'm gonna be topping it with some salsa habanera from Northgate. And you can add guac or you can add avocado slices. Okay, oh, and finally, but not less importantly, we need some cheese for our burrito, salt, pepper, and garlic powder to taste. I'm gonna put these away for a little bit, guys, because we're gonna start with our fish tacos. So if there's any questions at all, let me know. If not, we are going to proceed with our recipe. I am going to use also a little bit or a lot of oil. I wonder if you could cook these with an air fryer. I'm not sure, to be honest. I usually just make the recipe the original way, but you're welcome to try it. Let me know if you succeed. It will be interesting to know if we can use an air fryer to cook the fish tacos. That will be so good to know. Okay, so this is about 6 cups, between 4 and 6 cups of oil. And I just want to start heating the oil here. Now, a pro tip that I forgot, but I'm gonna let you know right now, in order to keep this oil clear and from turning brown, we're gonna add a little piece of aluminum foil. Let me go get it. Yeah, so this is a very smart trick I learned in the way of learning how to cook fish tacos from a person over in Ensenada who has a fish taco stand actually. And she told me this trick, and ever since I do it. And it's just like a tiny piece of foil. You fold it and you throw it in there. And that will prevent your oil from turning black. And you can apply this to anything that requires a lot of frying. Okay, so let's start with our fish. I'm bringing my cutting board over here. And the first thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna see what I got here because I didn't open the package. And I have big slices of lenguado here, as you can see. So I wanna make these smaller because you know a fish taco has a thick piece of fish, but not this size. You know, we're gonna cut this filet in chunks. Let's say 4 chunks per filet. Okay, kind of like this. These are perfect because we do want that big chunk in our taco, but not extremely big. So I'm gonna cut 2 fillets, and that's what we're gonna cook today with you guys. Just the 2 to show you how we do this. So I'm gonna reserve these. Perfect. And so one of the things that I always tell all of you when you're cooking with me, the importance of seasoning. Well, let me bring this closer so you can see better. The importance of seasoning each of the different layers of food separately. So in this case, We're gonna add some salt and pepper. I'm adding the pepper right now to all these little fillets we got here. We're gonna add a pinch of garlic powder. I love garlic powder in everything. I like garlic in everything. Perfect. And then finally, some salt. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna reserve these for a little bit while we start preparing our batter. Now, usually when you're preparing batters, it's more common to use the pail instead of this whisk looking thing. But since what we're looking here is like a pancake batter almost. So I'm not going to use that one just for now because I really want a smooth, almost liquid mix. So I'm starting by mixing all the dried ingredients. So I have the flour here. I also am gonna add the baking powder. I'm gonna add the oregano too. There we go. We're starting here. Then I'm gonna add some pepper to the mix. Perfect. And some salt too. About a tablespoon. And some garlic powder. I'm gonna mix it well. Doesn't need to be mixed in the machine yet. But now we're gonna start the blending process. And so for that, since I'm only cooking for 1/3 of the recipe, I'm just gonna add like a little tiny pinch of mustard. We don't want the mustard or Dijon to overflow the flavor of this recipe. So we need to be very careful not to overdo it. It's just 1 pinch for color and a little bit of flavor. Another important thing, guys, is to use clear beer, like a lager or something like this. If you use something more heavy or more tart or sour, it's gonna carry on that flavor to your fish tacos. So I use like a regular average beer. Okay. So we start, we lock it, and we're gonna stir in the lowest setting, adding the beer little by little. It smells good already. And I'll show you in a minute what this needs to look like. Perfect. So once all the ingredients have fully integrated, you can increase the speed. A little bit more. Perfect. Okay. So now you guys, let me show you what this mixture looks like. And it's almost like the pancake mixture. And all the little crumbs you see there is the oregano. Make sure you don't see any flour bubbles or anything. Okay, so let's see over here. Next step on our recipe would be to start frying our little pieces of fish, sorry.
Bobby, Tere left me with you, okay? I guess she had a bad connection. I'm Alicia.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Who is this? Nandi?
Alicia.
Oh, Alicia. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, perfect, Alicia. I thought I was talking to myself.
No, I'm here. I'm here. I'm
Okay,
watching you though.
Perfect. Hi, Alicia. Great. Okay. So as I was saying, guys, we bring back our fish. This, remember, has been already seasoned with pepper, salt, and garlic powder. And what I'm gonna do now is just dip one in the batter. And then just, whew, it was hot. So I'm gonna just wait for that to be done. And I wish to bring you closer, guys, so you can see how fast it starts forming, and it's just beautiful. We're gonna wait for this one to brown. Since always with my batters, the first one doesn't turn super pretty. That's why I waited for this one. But in the next batch, we're gonna do two. And it also is starting to smell so good. Okay, you guys, I have here a paper towel lined plate in which we're gonna leave our fish to rest. And it's important to me that you see the perfect brown color for this recipe. And usually, you guys, you want to use a bigger pot, like deeper. I didn't want to use one because it would be harder for you guys to see the outcome or the little piece of fish floating there. But usually I use my big pot, the big one, bigger and taller, so you don't get splashed or splattered by the dough or the hot oil. See this? Isn't it so beautiful and perfect? Okay.
That is really nice. It looks delicious.
It is. Oh my gosh. It's like one of the best recipes in the world, Alicia. Look at that.
Esos sí son tacos de Ensenada.
Are so good and perfect. I love fish tacos. I literally can eat these every day. I make them like at least 3 times a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, probably two, maybe 3. So, and when I have people over, this is one of my first options because you can never go wrong with fish tacos unless the person in question doesn't eat fish, right?
So Abril, could you pre-make them and then warm them up, or you would have recommended it?
No, I do. That's the best part. That I usually cook them all. Like, let's say after this class, I'm gonna finish the rest of them, and I can save them and then reheat them and enjoy them. They will be a little bit softer, not as crunchy, but the tacos de pescado are meant to be soft in a way.
Okay.
They're not like a fried chicken, they have some softness to it, so it doesn't bother me at all. But you can also make the batter and cut the pieces and just do them the next day. You don't have to do the whole batch if you don't want to.
Okay.
If you're like yeah, you can save the batter in the fridge, save the fish, and then the next day, just do them. Yummy. Look, this is a big kahuna. This is a big one. I love tacos de pescado with one big piece.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. So usually I like them a little bit darker than this. I'm just gonna go on. Remember that the oil keeps cooking the batter even after you take it out of the plate. So
And
make
you don't season them anymore after you take them out. You're all good.
What's that again?
You don't season it anymore with salt or nothing? Okay.
No, because your fish is already been seasoned and your batter as well.
Okay.
So ideally you wouldn't have to unless you figure out at the end that it needed more seasoned.
Unless you're my dad y eres un poquito saladito.
Ajá, si eres un poquito saladito, then yes, you can season them after. So whenever you fry anything, Alicia, anything at all, tortillas, whatever you're frying, the active oil still left in your food is going to keep cooking the food all the way as long as it's hot.
Okay.
So for the next like 4 or 3 minutes, that oil is gonna brown them a little bit more. And I think that's important for our friends to know that you don't have to wait until the oil has the super desired color. I mean your fish there, because it's still gonna cook a little bit out. They're still gonna brown a little bit more once you remove them. But look, this is like the perfect golden color in my head. And it has a lot of flavor because of the beer. The beer is the special ingredient, I believe. Go. So I feel like 1.5 batter, 1.5 cups of flour will make about 1 pound of fish. Okay, I'm gonna move these in the meantime because we don't need it anymore and we really need the space for our next recipe, Alicia. Oh, you know what? We still need to do a few stuff with this one, so let's proceed. And so when you're in Ensenada, they serve your tacos with a mayo cream, very, very unique. And let me bring this out. Give me just a minute. So pretty. Oh, the beer just smells delicious. Okay, so I'm gonna try to recreate that. What I do usually is just mix some mayo, about a teaspoon for this recipe. Some Mexican cream, also about a teaspoon. And I love these brands because they're super like loose. It's not thick cream. You can pour it. And that I love. I'm gonna add some a little bit of garlic powder because I add garlic powder to everything. It's not that it needs it, but I just like it. Some salt. And finally, I'm gonna add the juice of 1 lime. And I'll come closer to you guys in a minute. Also, another tip for you guys is to look for the onions, pickled onions at Northgate. And it's super simple, but it does add a lot of flavor to our tacos. And let me just mix this well. Let's get this one over here. Want to take a little bit more time. We're getting closer.
Have you ever tried the jocoqui in our cremeria?
Do you guys carry jocoque?
But it tastes like crema, but it's salt and it is so good. No, and I actually use it a lot instead of the cream.
I'm gonna have to go look for it. I didn't know you guys. You know, there's a lot of Northgate that I still don't know. The other day I was so happy because I found the queso menonita.
Oh yes.
I almost died. I literally almost had a heart attack. I was like, what? I can't believe it. It's so hard to find, even in Mexico.
Yes.
It's not a common thing. Like I remember my family used to bring us like a big piece of queso menonita from Chihuahua.
Mm-hmm.
And we would freeze it and like share it, like cut, like use it, like lo cuidábamos.
De poquito.
De poquito en poquito, because it wasn't something you would find in Ensenada. And then I was like just standing there in Northgate but you know, you have to go to the counter, the cheese counter.
Yes.
You won't find it in the packages. You have to go and see what's going on. So you have the jocoque there, right?
Yes. You get it.
I'm gonna go ask for it. Ooh, my dad makes this great lasagna with spinaches and jocoque.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, instead of ricotta, he uses jocoque. Okay. Perfect. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna leave these to rest and to cool off. And while we do that, we're gonna start with our other recipe. And finally, we're gonna build both tacos, the taco and the burrito. But first, let me get the other ingredients. Let me clear this area. This we need, this we need, this we need, this we need, but this we don't need anymore. Perfect. Are there any questions, Alicia, before we move on?
No, nobody has questions.
Okay, perfect. So then let's move on. I'm gonna move on with the next recipe. Let's bring the ingredients over here. And we start with the shrimp. So I went to Northgate and got the open shrimp or butterfly shrimp. And I like these because it's been already cut and open and cleaned and everything. Now I'm taking a new cooking, I'm certifying myself as a Mexican cooking expert through the School of Gastronomic Arts in Mexico. And so I just recently learned that you're not supposed to wash it. And that's something I didn't know. And I forgot to tell you this about fish as well. So once you run the fish or the shrimp through water, you activate the toxins in the fish. So you should just cook it. And that's new. So I just wanted to share that with you.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't part of my knowledge either. Okay, let me put this here. And I'm gonna leave these over here. Give me a moment, guys. Okay, that's what oil. Perfect. So let's start cooking our shrimp. And I'm not gonna cook all this pound and a half of shrimp. I just need enough to make one burrito to show you guys how I cook it. So what I wanna do first, let me know, Alicia, if you guys can see, because this is on the way, right? Yeah.
No, we can see what you're doing.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just chop these already previously kind of chopped shrimp. And as I told you guys, if you wanna try it with lobster, you can get a lobster meal or lobster tails and just take the meat out and cook it the same way I'm gonna cook this. And it's just like a careless chopping, not very throughout, just like a little bit here and there. Because we do want to feel those chunks of meat. Again, I'm gonna season the oil. The oil speak to me. So hot. Okay, I'm gonna season with garlic powder. It's like my pillar of flavor, salt and pepper. And for this recipe, you can skip the garlic powder if you want, because we're using actual garlic. I'm so used to using these three that I just keep doing it. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna give it a mix so everything gets evenly seasoned. And now let's preheat our pan. And we're gonna cook everything in this pan. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil, cooking oil, just to cook all my ingredients first. Okay. While that heats, I'm gonna go put all these ingredients in the fridge because I don't want them to go bad. Perfect. I'm back. Okay, guys, so we're gonna start with the onion. Remember, this is half a white onion. And again, you can use as little as or as much as you like. If you don't like onion, then you can skip it. It's not hot yet, but she's gonna let us know when the oil is ready for the garlic. As soon as we start hearing these noises, sizzling noises, this beautiful onion is making. Starting to. Perfect. Oh, and the smell. Okay. I'm gonna give it like a minute. Let's give it like a minute. We can see it starting to change color, starting to get clear. That's what we want. So I'm adding, it got fast. So I'm gonna add the garlic now. And again, remember, each layer needs to be seasoned. So a little bit more of salt here. You have to season every layer. Wow. Ay, qué rico. And as soon as this starts changing colors completely, like you can tell it's now doing, I'm gonna give it a little bit more of time, but then I'm gonna add my shrimp in here. And this is Puerto Nuevo style. Because in Puerto Nuevo, lobster is their deal over there. Everyone knows that if you want to eat delicious delicious lobsters, you gotta go to Puerto Nuevo. And that's in the highway between San Diego or Tijuana and Ensenada. It's a small town, like worldly known by their lobsters. Have you tried, Alicia? Lobster?
Yes. Is there a particular place you like there in Puerto Nuevo?
I love them all. I don't have a favorite one. To be honest, I always go to a different one to see because they all have their own magic.
Yes.
But the common way everyone serves lobster, I mean, some restaurants have all different dishes with lobster, right? But the common way to eat lobster in Puerto Nuevo is it's cooked in a sort of buttery sauce, right? With refried beans, rice, and flour tortillas. So to me, it was like, oh, this can definitely be a burrito.
That's right.
Okay. Oh, and this is starting to smell. Oh my gosh. Oh, delicious. Okay, so I have my butter here. So I'm waiting until the shrimp cooks a little bit more for you guys to see what I'm gonna do next. Look at this beauty. And this must be, Alicia, like, I'm gonna say like 1/3 of a pound.
Okay.
So I think 1/3 of a pound is perfect for one burrito if you like them chunky. Which we do, right?
Va a ser burrote, no
Es
burrito.
un burrote, sí. It's an American burrito because you know in Mexico burritos are thin and small. But here, oh my gosh, burritos are huge. Okay, so let me go get a knife. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to add, and since we are not doing the full recipe, I'm not gonna use the whole bar of butter, but I'm just gonna add like 1 tablespoon first to finally cook. And let me open here. The vent. So this is our shrimp or lobster is going to be finally cooking in this butter so beautifully. And we wait until everything's integrated and all the butter is melted. And then what we're gonna do is we are going to reserve. And to do these, guys, remember, you need to be sure that the shrimp has changed colors. Perfect. So pretty. Okay. And so I'm just gonna reserve this mix. But then what I'm gonna do next, this is like the special touch. I'm gonna use another tablespoon of butter and I'm just gonna leave it to melt in there. Making sure it doesn't burn. We just want melted butter with all the flavors that are on our pan. Because we're gonna use this butter to spread it into our tortilla. speaking of tortilla, I need my comal. Okay. Let me get this one instead. Butter is so good. Butter, manteca, you name it. Oh my gosh.
Da más saborcito.
Da más saborcito, sí. Okay, this is done. And I just want that buttery. I'm gonna show it to you in a minute now. Look at this. This is what we're looking for. And so we start, guys. Which one should we build first?
Whatever one you want.
Well, let's start with the fish taco since that one has pulled up. So let's start with that. I'm gonna make 2. And this is this is the easiest part. You just need 2 tortillas. And a plate. You go get my fish. So you want to remove these little pieces. This is not so common when you have a bigger pot. But since we cook it in a small pot, all the little debris from the other pieces just gets stuck with your fish, but you can use your hands and remove it.
It's just an extra crunch. It's okay, Abril.
Exactly. Yeah, like who wants to remove that, right? But I mean, if you want like the perfect looking taco, there you got it. And now you can mix all these ingredients, guys. There's no rules when it comes to Mexican food or cooking or your whatever you like. I'm just gonna go traditional to show you how it's served in my town. But you can add beans, you can add rice to these ones. You can add whatever you want. Okay, turn this off now. I think these tortillas are perfect now. And so what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna add this huge piece that I showed you before, that I love my tacos. And then another option is 2 smaller ones, like these 2. You will often see it either this or this, right? Then we add some of the cabbage. Now, I would add first the cream and the salsa and the cabbage on top, because then you want your piece of fish to have enough of the liquid stuff. Porque a veces lo que pasa, what happens sometimes is if you add it on top of your cabbage, then sometimes the cabbage or the lettuce fall off your taco, and then all the other ingredients that are on top of your cabbage fall off too. So to avoid that, I will season it first and then add the cabbage on top. And I love this salsa because it's like guacamole and salsa all at the same time. Super convenient.
Oh yes, I have it in my fridge. My kids love it.
Get these. It's one of my favorite things at Northgate. I mean, I love everything about Northgate, but this one didn't disappoint me. Okay, perfect. Now, ay, qué rico. We got the lime. And then the cabbage. And as simple as this look, it's so full of flavor, of Mexican spice, of Ensenada style, proudly representing. and I'm so proud of this dish. This is one of the many contributions from Ensenada to the world. This and margaritas. Yeah, they come from Ensenada too. So
I had no idea. I knew about the tacos because I've been there. And, you know.
Oh my gosh, I have to share that with you while I build my other taco. Okay, what do you think?
Delicious.
Let me try it. I cannot tolerate not trying it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, it's so delicious. Okay. So good. Okay, guys. Let me move away this for now. Ay, mi taquito, lo dejé mordido. Oh my gosh, so good. Okay, let's bring in the next. We're gonna still use this instead of guacamole. We have our habanero salsa here, our cheese. We have the beans, we have the rice. We have the tortilla, the avocado. And I think that's it. Okay, let's move forward. Now we have this huge tortilla. So what I like to do first is heat it up. And what I'm gonna do is just like drizzle some of the butter. And this will make it evenly on both sides. Now, when it comes to flour tortillas, you have to lower the heat up, okay? Because those ones are done so fast and you don't want it to burn or stick. So it's just a few, you just want it to be warm enough to be, so you can handle it without breaking. Oh, and you can already start to smell the butter in there. And this butter is like shrimp butter. So even better. Okay, let's get some spoons. There we go. Okay, we're ready, Alicia. We are ready. Perfect. I'm gonna turn this off. Yum. And so I need a big surface. And I'm gonna start with the beans. And what I like to do is spread the beans evenly everywhere. That's the only part of the burrito that I spread everywhere because it's also going to serve as a glue for everything else. So don't be shy with the beans. Everywhere. And then I'm gonna start with my shrimp. And I'm gonna choose one of the sides. And I'm just gonna use the center. I wish I could bring you closer, you guys. Because this is, hold on. I'll move you over here. Sorry for the movement, but I want you to get the full picture. There you go. So
perfect. We could see everything there.
Yeah, perfect. I'm gonna use this portion because this is going to flip in. Okay. And you can add more if you want. I just don't want to add too much that my burrito won't fold because I want it to look nice for you guys. But if you weren't watching, I would make this double. Okay, let's then add some cheese. And we don't want to add a lot of cheese, guys. Just a little bit. I feel like cheese sometimes kills the other flavors. I'm not a huge fan of exaggerated cheese, but this recipe needed to have it. I'm gonna add a little bit of this. Oh my goodness. And then my other second favorite salsa from Northgate, the habanero salsa. This one I already used. I couldn't help myself. Yummy. And then let's add some green because this is still a burrito, so it needs something green. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of avocado slices here. You can add cucumbers or whatever, or you cannot add anything at all. I wanted to keep it Mexican, so I added. And then we are folding, and my tortilla break a little bit, so I don't want it to. But this is the intense part because we need to make sure everything folds in place. And it did. Ha ha ha. Let me get a plate over here to plate my burrito. What do you think? Should I cut it?
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Do
please. Oh my gosh, Alicia, this is too good to be true.
You are tempting everybody.
Girl, I'm tempted myself. This is like crazy. Let me bring the other plate so you guys can see. Look, I'm so tempted I couldn't help myself and I did it. Oh my gosh. This is Baja right here, you guys. And let me just move this a little bit so you can see me now. So yeah, these are the flavors of Baja. And this is where I grew up and what I grew up eating. So I'm very proud of these both recipes. And I'm so happy that I was able to share it with all of you guys over there.
Well, we're all super excited that you got to share all this with us. I will personally make sure I've been making it this week and hopefully everybody else. I know Teresa has more cooking classes. You could check our website. And I don't know when's your next one, Abril. I don't know if you want to share, if you know.
No, this was my last class of the quarter, actually.
Oh, for lit. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm sure we'll be seeing you. So.
Yeah. And while we do see each other again, please try the recipes, follow Northgate, subscribe to their newsletter because you get all information about new classes and new projects and everything going on. So I recommend you guys do that. And also, you can always revisit these classes in their YouTube page, right, Alicia?
Yeah, I believe they have them on our website and you could go ahead and download them and be able to watch this class and all the other previous classes. And next time you owe us some margaritas, okay?
Yes. Okay, guys. Oh, I didn't tell you the story for next time.
Yes. Tell us. Oh, next time? Okay, next time for sure. We'll wait for you. Okay, thank you guys and thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.